pay rates based on geo or based on skill?
I was teaching an exec group, and someone in the group, their company has very localized pay scales. If you live in an expensive city, you're paid more. If you live in a cheap place, you're paid less. One of their team members came to them and said, another team member has moved from an expensive Northern European city to a pretty low-cost Southern European holiday resort. And this team member is really upset. And the manager said, look, this was a nightmare for me because the team member that moved was a really high performer. So what am I going to do? I have someone that's highly performing, one of the stars of my team. Am I going to tell them off for moving to a different location because it's a nicer place to live? Like, why should I be snooping on someone that's nothing to do with me? On the other hand, if I don't tell them off, the other team member's upset and I breach company protocol. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I think ultimately the issue is for fully remote employees, it doesn't make sense to have hyper-local pay scales. A manager shouldn't be snooping into where employees are living. Employees shouldn't find that their pay shifts every time they move. HR shouldn't be spending hours and hours every month coming up with these pay schemes. And firms should basically have at least a national or maybe a continent or global pay scale, and you just pay amount X for the role. We are slowly moving there. There was a big legacy of during the pandemic when teams were sent fully home and companies said, look, we're just going to keep you on your pay that you had pre-pandemic. That made a lot of sense at the time, and I agree with that. People have moved around the country, and because you happen to come from the San Francisco office, you're paid a lot. Because you happen to come from the Memphis office, you're paid a low amount, but you live next door to each other, and you really eventually want to be moving towards a more national or global pay scale.